What is up, guys? Welcome back to How Sonic Forces Should Have Sounded. And today, we will be taking a look at the final modern Sonic level in the game, which is called Mortar Canyon. As always, we'll begin with the backstory of the level. Then I'll play some of the original level music and give my thoughts on it. And finally, I'll explain the concept behind my recreation and play it with the level. Now, if you haven't seen the previous videos, I do recommend going back and checking those out. Check out from the beginning of the series up until now. And if you already know how the original level music is and you just want to hear the recreations, we'll have timestamps for you in the description, so check those out. But with that being said, let's dive right on in and get into the level setting. After Sonic and the Rookie escape Null Space, they then confront Eggman, who makes a retreat, saying that he will have the last laugh. Now, with 1 hour left until Eggman launches his final plan, the Resistance then storms Eggman's fortress. Some debatable fighting happens, with Infinite creating a pseudo-sun which will exterminate everybody, including Eggman. But hey, I'm not reviewing the story, so let's keep going. Tails then finds the Rookie and tells him that they can use the Phantom Ruby prototype that they found to make that sun disappear. The Rookie then successfully manages to make the sun disappear, which now gives the Resistance an edge. So the Resistance now makes a final push in the fortress, with Sonic leading the charge. This now brings us to Mortar Canyon. And now that we're here, let's take a listen to the original level music.
That must have used up a ton of energy. Phantom Ruby should be weaker now. This is our only chance to defeat Infinite.
All ships, provide backup to Sonic and the others. Draw the enemy's attention and shield them from damage. All hands, maintain altitude and assemble a tight formation. Sonic's team is our last hope. We have to protect them. A huge enemy force is closing fast. We're falling under attack. Keep an eye on them. Don't let them get near. Every second we can buy for Sonic counts. Ship 3 took a direct hit to the bridge. We're falling back. Ship 7 has been crippled by heavy fire. Evacuate the flagship. All hands, abandon ship. Sorry, Sonic. We've done all we can. Good luck out there. Plenty already. Leave the rest to us.
This is our only chance to defeat Infinite.
All ships, provide backup to Sonic and the others. Draw the enemy's attention and shield them from damage. All hands, maintain altitude and assemble a tight formation. Sonic's team is our last hope. We have to protect them. A huge enemy force is closing fast. We're falling under attack. Keep an eye on them. Don't let them get near. Every second we can buy for Sonic counts. Ship 3 took a direct hit to the bridge. We're falling back. Ship 7 has been crippled by heavy fire. Evacuate the flagship. All hands, abandon ship. Sorry, Sonic. We've done all we can. Good luck out there. Plenty already. Leave the rest to us.
This is our only chance to defeat Infinite.
All ships, provide backup to Sonic and the others. Draw the enemy's attention and shield them from damage. All hands, maintain altitude and assemble a tight formation. Sonic's team is our last hope. We have to protect them. A huge enemy force is closing fast. We're falling under attack. Keep an eye on them. Don't let them get near. Every second we can buy for Sonic counts. Ship 3 took a direct hit to the bridge. We're falling back. Ship 7 has been crippled by heavy fire. Evacuate the flagship.
So I'm glad we get to end with the song that I like. This track goes pretty hard. It feels like a nice epic send-off to Sonic's gameplay, at least until the bosses. Now the guitars take a back seat in this track, which was an interesting choice. Allows the strings and the piano to stand out more. Now these two instruments together, they help accentuate the grandness of the track, the grandiose feeling. The synth plays a backseat role in this track as well, which I think was a good choice. It's a supporting role, but it's not as prominent. They play a lot of double bass in the main section of the song, and then the snare and toms pattern in the beginning and throughout is oh so nice. It gives such a sense of speed and intensity to contrast the softer, more melodic strings and piano. Overall, this is an amazing track, and I love it. So here's what I did for my version of Mortar Canyon. First off, given this is the last Modern Sonic level, it's gotta be memorable. And given what's at stake, it's gotta be epic. However, I want to dial it up a little bit more. And if you've been watching since the beginning, you probably could have guessed that. I wanted heavy guitars to drive this track. Something a bit more serious, but still energetic. So I started with the main guitar riff and then added drum and bass style drums and a synth bass, which laid a solid foundation. Now the drum and bass style drums are really good for Sonic music because they give a sense of speed and intensity, even if the tempo isn't very high. Now I noticed after completing that first section that I was beating the level in a minute flat. So I noticed I didn't have a lot of space to work with. But anyways, I made a second section with a little transitionary piece. Now as always, we've been adding synth as some supporting instrumentation, so I added some of that. Then I also added some supporting string parts, which were meant to help give a slight cinematic feel to the music. I wanted it to feel larger than life, but also still true to the atmosphere and the direction. Now, you know this is the end of the game, this is the last press. The thing that immediately comes after this level is our last fight with Infinite. And while that fight and the following conclusion left a lot to be desired, we can still give it the treatment that it should have gotten. So let's do that now and get into the new music for Mortar Canyon.
That must have used up a ton of energy. Phantom Ruby should be weaker now. This is our only chance to defeat Infinite.
All ships, provide backup to Sonic and the others. Draw the enemy's attention and shield them from damage. All hands, maintain altitude and assemble a tight formation. Sonic's team is our last hope. We have to protect them. A huge enemy force is closing fast. We're falling under attack. Keep an eye on them. Don't let them get near. Every second we can buy for Sonic counts. Ship 3 took a direct hit to the bridge. We're falling back. Ship 7 has been crippled by heavy fire. Evacuate the flagship. All hands, abandon ship. Sorry, Sonic. We know what we can. Good luck out there. You did plenty already. Leave the rest to us.
Well, I suppose we have now reached the end of how Sonic Forces should have sounded. When I started this series 3 years ago, I did not expect it would get the traction that it did. So, it's been really rewarding, really awesome to share my thoughts on a franchise that I love. Thank you, my friend, for coming along for the ride, for supporting, and for being awesome. Now, if you liked Mortar Canyon, hey, hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing because now we're seeing where we're gonna go next. So after you watch this video, go to my channel in the community section and there's a poll with some ideas, some suggestions as to where we could go. Let me know what you'd like to see me do next. Alrighty? But I guess that's all for now. So until next time, my friend, I will see you when I see you.